Snively, Chair of the Hillsborough County School Board.
I'm Steve Kona, the board's vice chair.
We want to welcome you to Hillsborough County Public Schools. We serve more than 200,000 students. That includes children in preschool through our adults in our workforce programs.
Our district is one of the largest in America, and our team is made up of more than 24,000 people working at more than 245 sites.
We are diverse and dedicated. Our board meetings are held in our board auditorium on select Tuesdays at 4 p.m. The best way to serve our students and our community is to involve you, the public, in what we do.
You are welcome to email or meet with any of our board members and follow our district on social media. Board meetings are covered live by Hillsborough Schools TV on Spectrum Cable Channel 635 and Frontier Cable Channel 32.
Meetings are also streamed live on our website at hillsboroughschools.org. Closed captioning is provided on all broadcasts, and past meetings are available in our online archive.
As your elected school board, we are interested in what the public has to say. We'll include time for audience comments before we address our business items. Our agenda and any supporting materials can be viewed online in advance. They are posted 7 days before each meeting on our website at hillsboroughschools.org.
Our vision is preparing students for life, and that means all students, every day. Todos los estudiantes, todos los días. Thank you for your interest in education. With your help, we're making decisions that shape our community's future.
Good evening, everyone. The board meeting of September 22nd, 2020 is now called to order. Member Stewart, will you lead us in a moment of silence in the pledge?
Absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair. If you would please join me in a moment of silence, and in that moment of silence, if you could keep in mind our community that is here with us today, our community leaders and the students and teachers as we continue to move through the COVID issues that we're facing. Thank you. If you could please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Member Stewart. We have one withdrawn item today. That's item 402. And now, board members, I need a motion and a second to adopt the agenda. I have a motion by Member Stewart and a second by Member Gray. Please vote when your lights appear. And it is unanimous. Thank you, board members. Let the record reflect that all board members are present, with the exception of Member Perez, who will be joining us later online, and Chair Snively, who is away on business. Board members, I'd like to go over the format for today's meeting. As you can see, we are slowly getting back to normal. Our normal board meeting format, based on the governor's executive order for phase 2, reopening for Florida, we are now permitting up to 50 people to be present in the boardroom. Given the size and orientation of the boardroom, we can do this safely. Cabinet members are spaced apart, and the cabinet table and other cabinet members are seated in the front row of seats and spaced apart. Members of the public may sit in every third seat in the auditorium. The lectern will be cleaned after every speaker today, and as we review further directions from the state, we will adjust protocols as necessary. So with that, Member Stewart, will you please read the board guidelines?
As we begin today's meeting, let me quickly review the format of our school board meetings. Please silence all electronic devices. There are speakers in the room behind us. That allows board members to hear the meeting upon stepping away from the dais. This meeting can be viewed with closed captioning and our live webcast and on cable TV, as well as on the video monitors here in the auditorium. It can also be viewed in closed captioning in our online archive.
Thank you, Member Stewart. We have two time-certain items today. At 5:01, we will do a public hearing for recommended instructional materials for health and human services, industrial technology education, and international baccalaureate mathematics. And then at 6 o'clock, we will take employee input. With that said, we have lots of public comment today, and we have 34 members of the public who will like to speak, so we want to make sure we hear from as many of those folks as possible. But before that, I'd like to kick it off to the superintendent.
Thank you so very much to the Vice Chair, Mr. Cohen. I really appreciate it. And, you know, what a rewarding opportunity when you get a chance to see children perform and really show their passion every single day. You know, to be able to, you know, for children, students to be able to demonstrate and, you know, perform in a manner that shows their strength and their care for their initiatives, their programs, their pathway. It's always rewarding in education. And, you know, from my perspective in the last week, we've been trying to message that we are in no way, shape, or form ever going to eliminate, reduce, remove any art, music, PE programs or accelerated programs within our school district. These are ones that are a foundation of what we do. And right now, more than ever, as students transition from COVID and haven't been able to come back to school or just getting back to a part of somewhat normalcy, they need these classes more than ever. They need these classes to connect. They need these classes to interact. And then they need these classes to perform. And this is where they let their hair down, they show their hearts. And me as a formal, choral student, me as a formal elective teacher, I understand the importance. This administration will continue to build upon the great infrastructure and classes that are made and created every single day in our schools in order to expand them. And we will do just that. And we will link and leverage the knowledge of our art teachers, our resource teachers, our music teachers, our drama teachers, our band teachers, our accelerated program leads to figure out how we can continue to get better. So, I want to make certain that, we continue to celebrate and acknowledge all of the hard work. And we appreciate all of the emails this week. And we, sorry that there's been misinformation out there. This is why when I sent the communication to the board, to the organization on last Friday, along with to our constituents, giving them a timeline related to looking at potential adjustments that may have to be made, and these are uncomfortable adjustments. The good thing is that I was able to look at school-based leaders' recommendations over the weekend, and I worked diligently the last 2 days to be able to work with regional superintendents to make certain we protect all of the elective programs because they are greatly needed and desired within our community. So, a lot of good news is that nothing was ever cut. It was more of a conversation at the school-based level with regional superintendents, but glad we had the level where it's able to come back to me to be able to review to further protect these programs. So thank you, sir, and thank you for all of the parents, all of our community members, and all of our students coming this evening. And we know that we're here to support you and here to help you along the way.
Thank you very much for those comments, Mr. Superintendent. We will now begin our public comment. And today we do have 34 speakers, and so we want to make sure we can get as many folks heard before our time certain at 5 o'clock. We will give the public 1 minute apiece. So we will start that. So before that, let's review.
Point of order. Member Cohner, I would like to request a minute and a half for our teachers who have spent sometimes a lifetime in the classroom in danger. And I just think yielding an extra 30 seconds, if the board would consider that, would be the least we can do to honor their heartfelt and dedicated service to our schools during this time.
Thank you, Member Gray. But the number of speakers we have, we'll stick to a minute and see where we are, because we do have 34, and we want to make sure that we get to everyone. So with that said, let me read the public comment. The board welcomes comments from citizens and values your input to the board. In order to provide the most comprehensive responses to your comments, our staff will follow up with you. We will keep our board informed about these responses. Our school board respects the public's right to speak to the board, and we appreciate you taking the time to be here. However, it is requested that when you address the board, comments are not directed personally against a board member or staff member, but rather directed at the issue. Any behavior intended to interrupt the orderly conduct of this meeting will not be allowed. Our civility policy is in place. When addressing the board, please state your name and speak clearly into the microphone. Each speaker will have 1 minute, And now we will call on our first speakers, and they're all ready lined up. So the first three are Kara Atchison, Breland Atchison, and Kyla Atchison. So you guys can come on up. And just so you guys know, you have 1 minute. You'll see lights in front of you. 1 minute each.
Hello, my name is Briley Atchison. I'm a 7th grader at Orange Grove Middle Magnet School of the Arts. I wake up every morning for school, and my parents drive me 45 minutes just so I can have 50 minutes of dance and 50 minutes of singing. Those moments are the best moments of my life. My confidence has gotten so much better since I've been at Orange Grove. When I was in 1st grade, my big sister got accepted into a performing arts middle school. I was so excited to go to her first performance, and when I actually came there, I went up to the principal and I said, "Look for me in a couple years because I will be signing up." And so when I finally got accepted into my middle school, I was so excited. I was so excited that shy little girl's dream was actually coming true. My favorite activity is to talk about my school with my friends, and I say that they should come too. And I speak for all the kids who haven't found the courage to speak in front of you, that I am no longer a shy little girl, and I am excited to share my voice.
Thank you so much.
Hello, my name is Kyla Atchison. I am a senior, and I have been a participant in the magnet program since 6th grade. Arts have always been a part of my life, but not always a part of my academic life. I'm a creative learner, and that hasn't always been a part of my curriculum. My unique way of looking at the world was not always what the teachers thought was the right way to look at the world. I would color to learn science, I would use counters to learn algebra, and I would sing to learn my multiplication tables. When I went to an art school and into my arts program, I found a place where I belong. And so by cutting chorus and other art programs around the county, you are not just affecting one group of students. You are affecting a family, a community of students, and future students from finding a place where they belong.
Thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Kara Atchison. Those are my daughters. I'm here not just speaking for my daughters, their schools, Blake High School and Orange Grove, but all of the students all over the county. My biggest question is, you're here to represent the kids. That's your sole purpose. Why are the cuts immediately starting in the classrooms where they affect the kids immediately? There needs to be ways to help retain these kids, whether it is an art program, a math program, something. They're there because that is where they feel safe. And if those are cut, you're going to lose those kids, and we need to preserve them.
Got 16 more seconds.
Well, and now I'm at a loss. So, but I appreciate all the hard work that you guys have. I know that this is a hard thing, but we can't start in the classroom and taking it away from the kids.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. We'll now clean the lectern. And our next three speakers, Damaris Allen, Emmett Allen, and Bianca Goolsby. Damaris, you're up.
Thank you. My name is Damaris Allen, and over the time that my children have been in school in Hillsborough County Public Schools, I have given over tens of thousands of hours in my time. In addition to that, my leadership has directly resulted in the passing of the referendum and increasing the impact fees, resulting in billions of dollars coming to public schools. And I'm here to protect my investment. I love our schools. I'm a graduate of our schools. But I am very, very concerned about the leadership. What does it say that you can't spend more than 68 minutes, only 34 minutes on public comment, and you can't give more time to teachers who are terrified, not only because they have to face possibility of losing their jobs, but now they can't speak up properly, publicly. And in addition to that, we spend an enormous amount of money on programs when the whole argument for going back to school
Thank you.
was to be in person in front of it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Up next, Emmett Allen. Oh, yep, sorry. I figured since they lived in the same. Yes, sir, you have 1 minute. Welcome.
Hello, my name is Emmett Allen, and I am an online student at Plant High School. The first topic I'd like to speak about is the programs that have been utilized to attempt to assist our online students. Both myself and many students I know agree that they are more stressed by these programs than assisted by them. They are not education, they are simply busy work. We need to value our teachers more than we value these programs. Moreover, the arts, and more specifically the teachers of the arts, are vital to the educational success of students. Personally, I am in multiple AP and college classes, and I do not think I would be in these classes had it not been for the fine work of not only my science and math teachers, but also my arts teachers, such as J.D. Don, Brian Dell, and Dennis Lorenza. These teachers work extremely hard as it is, each one of them, and forcing them to overwork more is wrong. They provide a class that frankly would not be possible if they were more overworked than they already are. And if you force them to work more, you are failing them, and you are failing us, and you are failing your chances
I appreciate
for
your
re-election.
comments.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next up will be Bianca Goolsby, and then Kaylee Fonte, and then Jessica Blakely. Welcome. You have 1 minute.
I just want to talk about two items, the foaming hand sanitizer from Fuller Industries and the alcohol wipes purchased by Buyers Point. I hear some schools are refusing to use the hand sanitizer, and that's good. The SDS was very clear on page 6. A student in Hillsborough County even published an article about the toxic product you purchased. Now to the wipes. Please look at invoice 2029. Please tell me how this company received almost $800K for some imported wipes from China. Did y'all approve this? Did y'all follow the procurement policy? So did y'all really pay an average of $4 per pack? Can I get a tour of the warehouse keeping these supplies? When I researched the company, these products were not even on the website. Upon further review, they were selling PPE on a newly created Shopify website. I'm still waiting on the receipts from the infectious disease expert that the district consulted with to verify these supplies. As always, people lie, receipts don't. We need accountability, transparency, and integrity, and some of y'all about to lose y'all job.
Thank you, Ms. Goolsby. Up next, we have Kaylee Fonte. Kaylee, did I say your name right? Okay. Go ahead.
My name is Kaylee Fonte, and I'm an 8th grader at Orange Grove Middle Magnet School of the Arts. I am here today to speak about the intended cuts at our arts program in my county. My school was created for students who are interested in pursuing careers in arts. I am deeply concerned about these possible budget cuts. I cannot lose my electives in my school, especially chorus and theater. Chorus is my passion and gives me joy. You aren't just taking away our teacher, you are taking away our entire program. My teacher, Miss Blakely, has given me the purpose and moved me in many ways. She has made me want to pursue a musical career. Without her positive influence, I cannot see any reason to attend a magnet school. School is hard enough, and without it, my music and theater to participate in, it takes away all the reason for choosing an arts program. I cannot lose this. Thank you for your kind attention.
Thank you very much. Very good. Up next is Jessica Blackley. Then after that is Chelsea McCreary, and then Lydia McDonald. Or Celeste. Sorry. I apologize.
No worries. Hi, I am Jessica Blakely, and I am the face of Orange Grove Middle Magnet Chorus Department. I am the director at Orange Grove Middle Magnet School of the Arts Chorus. I graduated college in December and was hired in February, 3 weeks before COVID-19 shut down schools in March. I am my students' third choir director in 10 months. After much struggle, I have gained their love and trust, and that has made all the difference in the world. The music they produce is breathtaking, and the culture in each class is heartwarming. This is created by having a teacher that specializes specifically in choir. I am a first-year teacher with an evaluation score of 0, but a dedication score of 1,000,000. First-year teachers will be the first to go. In addition, my program numbers in an already small school of only 500 raise this question, but I am rebuilding a program from the ground up. I am young and will have other positions in my future if need be. But in this program for the Arts Magnet, if it's cut, it will never be revived. These children will lose their safe place, family, home, and outlet without getting a chance to get it back. This will break them. They need me and they need their craft.
Thank you so much. We'll clean the lectern, and then after that is Celeste McCreary. Hello, welcome. You have 1 minute.
Hello, my name is Celeste McCreary. I attend Orange Grove Middle Magnet School of the Arts. I originally went there for theater, but throughout the years I've grown a stronger love for singing and dancing. When I was little, I was always told that I was such a drama queen, that I was a great actor and singer. I didn't do much because I didn't have a lot of self-confidence. When I started going to this school, my confidence shot up. That's what the arts teaches. For dance, I worked for at least 6 months to get into the elite program Pride. The arts also teach you about goals. Miss Blakely, my chorus teacher, is not just a teacher. She's a friend, someone you can talk to. Without her, things would never be the same. These electives are my passion. If I didn't go to this school, then I would never have gotten up here to speak. Taking this away would be like taking away my life's work, my happiness, my passion. Let me ask you this. How would you feel if I took away your passion, happiness, and life's work? I hope you reconsider this. Thank you.
Thank you, Celeste. I appreciate it. Up next is Lydia McDonald, and then we have Riley Butteroff, and then Ann Lenz. Go ahead.
My name is Lydia McDonald, and at Orange Grove Middle Magnet School of the Arts, I am provided with an outlet to express myself through the arts. At Orange Grove, just within the past 2 years, I've discovered the things that I am truly passionate about. Chorus has given me an environment to learn all the technical aspects of singing, as well as just singing some of my favorite songs surrounded by my friends. Our art school simply would not be the same without the chorus program. When I wake up every day, I'm not being dragged down with the dread of going to school because I have things like chorus, theater, and dance to look forward to as a way to relieve the stress of academics. In addition, I know that a lot of my peers and I plan on pursuing careers in the arts with the newfound love that Orange Grove has given us. It is extremely important to me that the arts stay at Orange Grove and continue to affect people's lives like it has mine. All I can do today is speak to you all about what it means for me to go to an art school, and I hope that my voice will be heard. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Up next is Riley Butteroff, and then Anna Lenz. Good afternoon.
Hello, my name is Riley Butterworth, and I'm a senior at Plant City High School. Last Friday, my friends and I went to a football game in Polk County, just 25 minutes from my house. I can't attend my own high school football games due to Hillsborough County's restrictions of only 4 tickets per athlete. I have no choice but to watch our football games at a local restaurant where we stand arm to arm with other students, and while we are seated, we are not required to wear a mask. As I watch patrons and employees safely interact, I cannot help but question why the county is forcing more strict requirements on our high school football games. I have waited for this year to be sitting in the stands under the Friday night lights and celebrating our final year in high school for as long as I can remember. Our privileges and celebrations of senior year have nearly been erased, and I am asking you to please reconsider giving us back this one thing. As a county, you have not established and enforced standard practices with regards to CDC guidelines. You are taking away moments that we have waited for our entire lives, and we can never get back. Let us go to the game, just like you let everyone else go to bars, restaurants, protests, amusement parks, schools, grocery stores, and shopping malls.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll clean the lectern, and then we'll have Ann Lenz next. Welcome. You have 1 minute.
Every day I hear, I love my teacher, Mr. or Mrs. So-and-so. I have never once had a child say to me, I love Achieve 3000 or I Ready. Teachers are what inspire and lead our children. There is no replacement for the instruction, love, and stability they provide. I have presented to you a local petition signed by over 4,000 people to save our teachers. You must lead the charge to demand better funding. Cutting teachers is the last resort. Teacher loss will not easily be replaced. How will you prevent overcrowding once students return from distance learning if these units are gone? How will you keep the trust of our educators if you don't support their tenure? This community will stand and fight with you for better education and better funding, but we will fight against you if you are not on the side of students and teachers. Remember who you are hired and elected to protect. It's not politicians in Tallahassee, not the Department of Education or for-profit investors. It's the students of Hillsborough County Public Schools, and they need their teachers this year more than ever.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Next up, we have Christelle Pasal. Is that close? And then Frank Reyes. Welcome. You have 1 minute.
I'm representing Orange Grove Middle Magnet. You are taking away the advantage to having a head start in our future career. Because of that, it's destroying students' mental health. They use Chorus as a safe space for students like us to express how we feel. Miss Blakely is not just a teacher. She's a mentor. She gives us inspiration and courage to keep going and persuading in what we want to do. Our performing arts school will not be a complete school without Chorus. You are taking away Chorus. It will make students lose interest in our school, making you lose more money. See us and hear us as we plead to you to not destroy our future. The loss of the arts during this unprecedented year is just one more unreasonable obstacle. Chorus builds discipline, listening skills, concentration, teamwork, and confidence. I sit on a bus for 4 hours a day so I can have the opportunity to learn the performing arts. How can I do that if you take that away? Instead of cutting teachers' jobs and hurting them and the students that they serve, you should be giving them raises for how hard they work for us. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It was very good. Thank you. Up next, we will have Frank Reyes and then Madeline Peacock, followed by Jonah Peacock, and then Michael Peacock. Frank, how are you?
Hey, good afternoon. My name is Frank Reyes. I am the Hillsborough County Council PTA President. I'd like to start with a quick question. I'd like to ask, where are the parents and caregivers in the decision-making process? You're directly affecting their families, their child's teachers, programs, and schools, and yet you're giving them 1 minute of their time on this podium. I believe if you would allow our parents to be more involved in these choices, while we may not be satisfied with the answers of the decisions, we could at least understand them a little bit more clearly. But right now, we can only be reactive with comments and caution instead of proactive with ideas. PTA stands by the belief that students are our most precious resource. So I ask you to think long and hard before acting on any cuts, because the decisions you make won't just have an impact on the present, but on many of the students and how they have to change the direction of what classes, programs they will need to take, thus changing many hopes, dreams, and opportunities in life. The accountability of these cuts falls squarely on each of you. If you inflict significant cuts in how and where kids will finish their education, you'll be forcing their families to make choices they don't include public schools, meaning we might be right back here sooner than later.
Up next, we have Madeline Peacock. Hi, Madeline. Welcome. You have 1 minute.
Good afternoon. My name is Madeline Peacock, and I am here speaking on behalf of all art programs. It is my understanding that to make up for a budget deficit, the school board is being asked to cut units and let go of valued teachers. Teachers have already established relationships with their students, and making decisions which destroy those relationships isn't right. In this process, many elective classes are in jeopardy, specifically those that don't have 35 or more people. By being a student of the arts myself, I can assure that this is not the most viable way to rid yourself of this financial dilemma. And as a student, I can firsthand see the impact your decisions are having on schools. The toll being put on me and many others is more than tolerable. We were told by your board that students desperately need to return back to brick and mortar for the sake of their mental health. If you continue down the path of cutting electives, especially those that are the arts, you will contradict your previous standpoint, and students' mental health will decline. For the past few years, I have aspired to be a music educator, and now I'm worried I won't have students to educate. Arts are essential. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. Up next, we have Jonah Peacock, then Michael Peacock, and then we have Genesis Montero. Welcome. You have 1 minute.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen of the board. My name is Jonah Peacock, and today I want to provide you guys with my perspective on the issues at hand. Of course, the results of these budget cuts will be catastrophic. Being a child of 3 teachers, one of which is a teacher of the arts, I can honestly say that the negative effects of the cuts being made are destroying the usually positive feelings about going back to school. But today I hope to be a more positive light and give some benefits about leaving classes untouched. In my personal experience, many of my most cherished memories were contained in the chorus class. The amount of new positive relationships I've built from that classroom are held extremely close to my heart. I know many people who come to school solely to make music with their second family. There's just something so special about being in a room full of people, setting aside any differences that they have, to just stop for a moment and make art. Regardless of what form of art it is, that moment becomes beautiful and important, because art can make a difference, because arts are essential. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. So up next we will have Michael Peacock and then Genesis Montero. Welcome, sir. You have 1 minute.
Members of the board, my name is Michael Peacock, and I've been an employee of Hillsborough County Public Schools for over 19 years. I've served under now 4 superintendents, each with their own style of leadership. Some I feel have been more stronger than others. I'm here today not as a teacher, however. I'm here as an advocate for students. I, like most teachers, spend the first few weeks of school building relationships with my students, built on trust and clear procedures. I structure my classroom to be one of camaraderie, but also high expectations. Looming over the heads of all teachers right now is the threat of schedule changes, positions cut, and possible loss of programs that are havens for students, and sometimes the sole reason they even go to school. What our district needs now is an advocate for the teachers, someone to stand up and say, we value you, we trust you, and we will do whatever we can to protect you. What we don't need is what we have seen this year. Students are riddled with anxiety. Some have had multiple schedule changes with a promise of more to come, even as late as the second semester. This issue threatens the ability to form the relationships between teachers and students and make the progress that we should already be seeing not even able to happen. It has been very difficult to establish good relationships with students as they keep changing.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Thank you. Up next we have Genesis Montero, followed by Lauren Garcia and Cameron Steen. Hello.
Hi. So I'm Genesis Montero. I'm a senior at Blake High School. I'm a chorus major. I've been singing since elementary school, and I just wanted to say that music for some kids, and along with the arts, is just their voice. It's their home away from home. It's their outlet. It's their place away from reality when they need to escape. And to take that away from them, to rob them of that, why would anyone want to take away something so beautiful away from kids like me and my family and friends? Especially in these hard times, music is everything we need and more. Taking our arts away, taking our music away, is taking away our freedom. Music is the only thing that we can control, and we might lose that as well. We as a people lost everything this year. Please don't take away our arts program. Everyone can use a little art in their life. Thank you. That's my speech.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Next we have Lauren Garcia. Hello.
Hello. I found I could say things with color and shape that I couldn't say any other way, things I had no words for. George O'Keeffe. When I saw this quote, I realized how true and meaningful it has become for all of us. Art and music are so much more than just pretty sounds, colors, and words. It's a way to express yourself, step away from the wasteland which society can be sometimes. A way to do something you love without being judged for it, find your calling, and just feel like the wonderful people we deserve to feel and be like. The positive energy of these classes is something you truly can't get anywhere else. And the incredible people we meet through these programs are the friendships that become more like family and last a lifetime. These are the people you can always count on to be there for you no matter what the problem. For countless students, including myself, the arts, music, and dance can be some of the only parts of school that we look forward to every day, especially in the chaos of e-learning and the struggles that brings us as well.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Up next, we have Cameron Steele. We'll clean the lectern first. Welcome, Cameron.
Hope to say. Music is pure diversity between the largest gaps of beliefs, dreams, and traits, coming together as one with people of all kinds. Music is safety, for anyone to do something they love without being criticized for being different. Music is help, a place where you can reach out to people who care about you for your help, struggles, and mental health. Music has so many endless powers and opportunities and all you have to do is start with a note. That's what makes it so special. The arts are our future, something that truly has purpose and can truly make a change. This week through music, we got to learn about Sadako Sasaki and the South African Zulu song Ukutula. Sadako made 1,000 paper cranes to grant a wish that never happened. Ukutula is about faith, unity, and peace. Music students constantly get the chance to learn about stories, cultures, and overall how to change the world. I've been in chorus for 7 years. Back in the 2nd grade, I had no idea how much music meant to me. I genuinely think music is my future, as do many other kids in Hillsborough.
Thank you so much, Cameron. Thank you very much. That was great. Thanks. Up next, we have Audra Montero, followed by Blake Gatlin, and then Mindy DeStories. Hello.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for having me today. I was going to go up here and talk about all the arts programs because every one of them are very important, but I just want to be honest. I was told that Orange Grove Chorus Department is going to be okay, but I'd love to have it in writing to have Miss Blakely stay to be the chorus director. I have 2 daughters. One is in chorus at Blake High School, and the other one is in Orange Grove Middle Magnet. And the concern we have is Orange Grove has had 3 chorus directors in the last year. Miss Blakely is amazing. She's actually instilled trust into these students. You know, I'm looking at him, sorry. I'll say to y'all too, sorry. And they love her and they trust her. And right now, with everything that's going on, we need the stability in this school, and we need her to stay at the school. I know you can find other ways to cut somebody. She needs to stay in the school. Thank you.
Okay. Up next, we have Blake Gatlin, followed by Mindy DeStories.
Chorus, guitar, advanced theater, journalism, and yearbook. I'm currently in piano, vocal tech, and acting. At a young age, I was diagnosed with dyslexia, dysgraphia, language processing, anxiety, and ADHD. Classwork takes me longer than other students and is often frustrating. I also get exhausted from the stress, but in musical theater, I can block out all my problems and let go of my stress and just do what I love. Theater isn't just about teaching kids dancing, acting, and singing. Theater teaches kids cooperation, leadership skills, public speaking, social skills, confidence, and marketable job skills. I understand the predicament that we're in. You have to find ways to pay bills. But instead of cutting classes like men's choir, piano, or costume design, why not find another solution? These classes are the only thing that keeps some kids in school. These classes help graduation rates, test scores, and make kids more appealing to colleges. Please don't take away the teachers that teach these kids just because they don't meet your 35% person quota. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Blake. We appreciate that. And just let the record reflect that Ms. Perez is now joining us online. So after the lectern is clean, we have Mindy DeStories and then Linda Rodriguez. Welcome, Mindy.
Hi, my name is Isabella DeStories.
Okay. All right.
And I will be speaking about my love for musical theater. I've been in it since a young age, and since I was 8 years old, I've been diagnosed with dyslexia and social anxiety. Musical theater helps me get away from all of the problems that I have, especially going to a public school. This helps me as a person feel like I can do anything. It also helps me figure out leadership and how to take initiative for myself. Thank you.
You sure? You got 30 more seconds. Anything else? All right. Thank you. Up next is Linda Rodriguez. Welcome.
Can I take my mask off?
Yeah.
I'm an advocate for students and teachers of music in the arts. This morning, I received a phone call from the secretary to the Hillsborough County Chief of Schools. She was clearly attempting to place a smokescreen over the topic of the upcoming cuts that will affect students and teachers in the arts. She purposely used words like hours and units in place of words like classes and teachers. It was an outright depersonalization of the teachers and students that are facing this new crisis. Cuts will come to music and the arts because that's what's left in the state that has historically not cut sports. During a worldwide pandemic and necessary social unrest, how dare we cut teachers' classes and programs that are both educating and emotionally supporting our young people? How dare we ask our students to accept further upheaval in their lives through changes to their schedules and outright loss of a beloved class or teacher? On September 19th, Superintendent Davis stated, "We will preserve existing programs in art and music," and I want him to know that we are watching to see if that's true.
Thank you. Okay, our next three speakers are Claire Jenkins, Lynn Pete, and Guillerti Patemois. Hello.
My name is Claire Jenkins, and I'm currently a senior at Plant High School. I, like many others, don't play sports. Instead, I participate in my school's orchestra and theater programs. I went to Wilson Middle School, where I was a part of Timothy Fox's orchestra. From the moment I first played the cello in 6th grade, I fell in love. For many kids like me, middle school was the first time you learn how to play an instrument, read sheet music, and play with a group. Without middle school music teachers, there would be no foundation for the more difficult places they play in high school. Today, I'm a part of the Philharmonic Orchestra conducted by Stephen Bossert. Last year, we would have the chance to play at Carnegie Hall, an experienced musician's dream to have the chance to do, and because I was in my high school orchestra, I was going to get that chance. Mr. Bossert, the orchestra director, Mr. Dell, the band director, and Mr. Yost, the chorus director, put everything they have into their music programs. Because of their effort, kids have found communities they belong to and lifelong friendships. For one period a day, instead of looking at whiteboards, kids get to play music. While to you, they may just be units in a budget, to us, they are teachers.
Thank you very much, Claire.
Thank you.
Up next is Lynn Pete.
Good evening. I am concerned that proposed budget reductions will damage the educational environment for all of our students in both traditional and magnet schools. I implore you to spare all educators and administrators who have daily contact with our children. Our teachers, guidance counselors, and administrators already work well in excess of 40 hours per week. Asking them to absorb more work will severely erode their ability to effectively develop the best in our students. New curricula, testing, and professional development can wait. The success of any school at any time relies heavily, if not completely, on a strong and holistic connection between its faculty, students, and families. The children sitting in our classrooms today will be taking care of us when we are old and vulnerable, and they will follow our example. We will need them to be competent, confident, and healthy, and we certainly will not want them to think it is acceptable to remove invaluable people from the front lines, because that is an easy way to reduce cost. Thank you.
Up next is Greta Patnaud, and you can just correct my pronunciation. Thank you very much.
I'm Ms. Patnaud from Robinson High School, and for the first time in 5 years, I'm not going to have any technology to teach my classes. And I would also like to speak to the idea of leadership as having a representative for our county's vision. School leaders must model behaviors and expectations for staff and students from the beginning of this COVID crisis. And we're also you are taxpayer fiduciaries, and you need to have foresight of the challenges ahead. And I question a lot of these programs that you have purchased. We're also questioning in our school, why does the top pay leadership you have selected need additional costly training? Aren't they already experts? And what the superintendent is portraying to the public does not necessarily mesh what's happening in the classroom. I also want to highlight the success of our public schools and why we need to advocate for those children or taxpayer dollars to stay in the system. Very important, Robinson High School, our IB program has produced 15 National Merit Scholarship finalists, and I'm going to recommend keep your hands off of that wonderful success story. We have clubs and music programs and athletics.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Up next, we have Nicole Renew, and then Sheldon Briggs, and then Kyle Johnson.
The first thing I wanted to address, luckily my colleagues and our students have mentioned a lot of the things that are at the forefront on everyone's mind currently. Not that long ago, all of a sudden, there was some big theatrical show here where no one seemed to understand why we were missing $50 million. I thought that's why we elected the school board. That's your job. Yet after a month and month of the budget being approved and we watched the reserves dwindled, everyone sat up here questioning where all of that money went. And now it's going to fall on the backs of the teachers, and that's what you want to cut. Not to mention, Mr. Davis was quoted in the paper last week as saying that we're living above our means, yet on the agenda tonight is asking the board to approve a $100 million line of credit. Which doesn't quite seem financially appropriate. The other thing when I want to say, considering cuts, please don't just look at numbers of students. They're not numbers. My kids at my school, we have 61% of my school are ELL, and 25% of my kids in both groups are ESE. Those kids need more.
The next three speakers are Sheldon Briggs, Kyle Johnson, and Victor DeMaio. Welcome, sir. You have 1 minute.
Yes, Shelton Bridges. Good afternoon. We are in a budget crisis right now for one reason and one reason only. You failed to plan, you have wasted and mismanaged resources, and you have failed to exercise proper oversight. And now to cover up for your mistakes, you want to get rid of teachers to make up the monetary deficit. If you cared about the teacher and the students, and by now it's obvious to anyone paying attention that you don't, the first thing on the chopping block should be your salaries and that of the superintendent. You haven't earned 1 penny of the salaries that are funded by taxpayer money. After you get rid of that, you should get rid of the $11.1 million boondoggle known as Achieve 3000. I won't rehash the unethical withholding of information or the board's total lack of investigation that resulted in that contract being signed, but suffice it to say that the contract needs to be voided. Choose people over programs every single time.
Thank you, sir. Up next is Kyle Johnson.
As a lifelong member of the Hillsborough County School District family, I am shocked, saddened, angry, and frustrated by the lack of leadership this district has shown over the last few months. Mental health amongst our students and our staff is at an all-time low, and morale is also at an all-time low. The inconsistent decision-making made by this board and Superintendent Davis have left many of us scrambling to make plans for our families and ourselves, and it has also driven many families to leave the district for private and charter schools. How can a district with money problems afford to spend $3.7 million a year on a program that, strangely enough, has ties to Superintendent Addison Davis, with his brother being the vice president of that company? How can a district with money problems afford to pay Superintendent $310,000 a year while veteran teachers in this district haven't seen raises in 10-plus years? How can a district with money problems afford to pay its leadership team a combined nearly $3.5 million? How can this board and this leadership justify staff cuts when we as teachers are the ones on the front line servicing our students?
Okay, our final three speakers will be Greg McCreary, Tina Williams, and Alan Brewster. Welcome, sir. You have 1 minute.
Thank you. My name is Greg McCreary, and I have a doctorate in philosophy. I've been teaching at the Honors College for USF since 2014. I come to you to speak on this from a perspective that is not an administrative one. Over those years, in my experience as a teacher of higher education, one of the most common things that we see is that new students lack creativity and critical thinking skills. In particular, the most common element that emerges is that students have not had the opportunity to think and imagine creatively because their grade school classes are excessively focused on STEM, as well as standardized testing. It's evident to us professors that some students have made it into the Honors College simply because they're able to pass exams. It's also obvious that those who enter the Honors College with creativity, imagination, and critical thinking skills.
Thank you very much.
In my experience, the characteristic...
Thank you very much.
All right. Do your job.
Up next is Tina Williams, and then our last speaker is Alan Brewster. Oh, we have one more, sorry. Okay.
Hello again. Welcome, board members. Today I come to speak to you once again about communication, or the lack of communication. What is communication? Communication is an interaction between all parties, digging deeper to understand what the problems are and being solution-oriented and not reactive. We as parents, staff members, friends, we have access to information, but not communication. I challenge all the board members to really sit down and listen. Communication. If there's a problem, I can't even go and call the people that need to be because I have information, but a lack of communication. Our ESC department, lots of information, but no communication. We need more transparent communication. Remember, parents are a huge part of the team. We have some of the solutions to your problems. Remember, while reading is fundamental, communication is key.
Thank you so much. Up next, after we clean the lectern, and thank you so much today for cleaning the lectern. We appreciate it. Up next is Alan Brewster, and then we have Trista Snook and then Andy Hunt for the final two speakers. Welcome, sir.
Welcome. Thank you. First of all, I want to say thank you to Cindy Stewart. When I met you 5 years ago, our daughter had an issue with ESE, and she really jumped in and took care of the problem. Kimberly Workman is the director of ESE department. How is it that she is still the director of ESE after the fact that the Brewster family alone has filed 10 state complaints in the 5 years that we've been here about various violations, no IEP services, accommodations not being given for assignments by teachers, IEP not being implemented from day one, and FAPE is being violated? When will HCPS stand and give ESC students equity in education? When will you stand? Davis, when? My daughter is a 10th grader with a diagnosis of ASD. Parents requested a comprehensive reading evaluation in May.
Thank you, sir.
And we just got the consent.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Davis, could you have someone? Okay, our final two public comment speakers before our time starting at 5 o'clock are Trista Snook and then Andy Hunt.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Trista Snook. I'm the instructional coach at Madison Middle School. I've been teaching in this county for 22 years, but this year is like nothing I've ever seen before. I've taught alongside some of the best teachers in this whole nation, but I got to tell you, these teachers, they're feeling overwhelmed, they're feeling underappreciated, and they're very scared right now. They're scared for their health, they're scared for their safety, and they're very scared for their jobs. We all know the number one factor in student success is the classroom teacher, and it's not a certain program, and it's not overcrowded classrooms. Right now we have 30 kids in a classroom, brick and mortar, so if teachers are cut, obviously it's going to be more and we won't be able to social distance. So I realize we're in a bad spot financially, but please, please, please think about your personnel cuts and see if you can find another way. Okay.
Thank you so much. Sorry, board members, we're going to add one more student to the list, but we have Andy Hunt is up next. Welcome.
Hi, my name is Andy Hunt, and I am a first grade teacher at Oak Grove Elementary. You asked for teachers with their hair on fire, and you got teachers who are jumping through hoops backwards, blindfolded, with their hair on fire. As we set up new learning environments, design web pages with Canvas, learn new curriculum, take never-ending professional development, take competency classes, adjusting to large and ever-changing classes, the list goes on. And even though you got exactly what you asked for, you continue to throw water on our flames by demanding more and smiling as if nothing is wrong. For the first time in my career, 16 years, I was told not to do what is best for children, to ignore where they are and teach what we bought. It is heartbreaking as a teacher to see students struggle unnecessarily. As I prepare to be observed, to hold me accountable, which is ridiculous, by the way, I watch exhausted coworkers as they fear another shift in their jobs. I wonder who's holding you accountable, who's telling you when you have a great idea, but people have enough on their plates.
Thank
Who
you
told
so
you
much.
to hold off on new curriculum until we can use it with
Thank you, ma'am.
fidelity?
Appreciate it. Thank you. And last up, we have Lance Lavanay. I'll let you pronounce it when you get up here. All right. Thank you. Welcome, Lance.
Hello, and thank you for allowing me to speak today. My name is Lance Lanive. I'm the president of the Latin Honor Society at Freedom High School. In a generation where Americans are divided in innumerable ways, teachers act as a beacon of the community. Teachers are mentors. That is what they give to the community. It is not quantifiable, and the budget cannot account for it. Everyone in this room, and everyone who this pertains to, had people who loved and carried them into being. And how pleased our mentors must be to see the people we are today, whether school board member or parent or student or teacher or handsome redhead. It is so difficult for teachers to guide their students when the threat of reassignment hangs over their heads. Please think of one of your own supporters and how differently you would have turned out if not for them. This is the potential reality for thousands of students in Hillsborough County. It is the unquantifiable consequence of unit loss. The superintendent once said that they all have to turn and say, Addison Davis did right by kids. We hope you will keep his word even in times where all is not going smoothly. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Okay, board members, that concludes our public comment today, and I'd just like to thank all of our speakers for coming out today. Now we will move to item time certain, E01, public hearing for recommended